For the last week, I've been meaning to do a video about another sale that's coming up. As you know, we did the sale video yesterday on the Grogan auction that's coming up. But there was another auction that's also coming up the day before on June 3rd. And it's not try to trade, but it's sort of a sweet little sale that's happening down at Leland Little in the Carolinas. And if you haven't looked at it, you probably should. If you like early stuff, if you like early Chinese stone carvings, and you like old porcelains, very good things from collections, you want to look at it. It's a small sale. I don't know how many lots there are exactly. Probably around 80 or so. Here's the sale. I want to go down to the bottom and see how many lots there are. It's a small sale, 90 lots, 100 lot sale basically. And I'm going to go through it because there's some nice lots in here. And as you know, Leland Little doesn't tend to have big estimates and big reserves on things. They take the stuff in when they know the people really want to sell it. And a lot of the pieces have pretty good provenance. Some things were bought from the Chait Gallery and so forth. So stick around. It's an interesting auction. And there's some very good Japanese woodblock prints in this sale. There's several. And we're going to get to those toward the end, but we're going to go through the what's on the front end of the sale first. The first thing is this. It's a rather nice late Ming, probably Chochon period, blue and white molded dish. The cavetta was molded, and then the center has this sort of a mixed lattice, samples of lattice patterns going around it. It's a very nice looking plate. It's not enormous, and interestingly, it's got blue lappet decorations around the back, which you don't always see on those. Often it's plain. It looks fine. I don't see any damage to it. Nice looking dish. Ought to bring $500 to $700 or something. It's a good looking porcelain. And then there is this, a Marcan period Qianlong dish that was bought from the Chait Gallery about 25 years ago. It measures 7 1/8 inch in diameter. It's a very nice copper red glazed dish. It's very evenly glazed. It looks like it's in very good condition. Very good condition. And here's the back of it. It looks fine. It looks Qianlong to me. The glaze looks fine. It's even. It doesn't have any odd characteristics. The foot rim looks nice. It's white. It's rounded, smooth. There's a slight bluish tinge to the white glaze on the bottom. It looks like a heck of a nice plate. Ought to bring $3,000 to $5,000, but it may not. You may get a bargain on it. It's got 35 people watching it. The sale, as I said, on June 3rd. There's about 10 days to go. But if you like Marcan period monochromes, you want to check that out. That's a nice looking porcelain. And then over to this nice big mallet vase, floor vase they're calling it. It's a 19th century example. It's done in the 18th century style, but it's quite large. It's 27 inches in height, 10 inches in diameter. It's very nicely decorated, though, with a figural landscape scene. It's tall, slender. The workmanship on it, the decorating looks very good. It's not sometimes in the 19th century, you know, the blue goes a little off and the painting isn't that good. Whoever painted this had a really good eye. They lots of character on all the faces and so forth. Here they are with the go board playing in the foreground, the people relaxing. It looks like it's sort of one of these summer afternoon scenes, you know, where they're all sort of hanging around outside, enjoying it, playing games, talking, having some tea, relaxing, enjoying the day. Nice looking vase. It's got a few people. It's got 37 people watching it. It should bring a couple of $1,000s. It's a big pot, 27 inches, and it looks to be in very, very good condition. Always get condition reports. Always ask for, especially when you're buying porcelain, ask for the condition just to be certain. But nice looking porcelain vase. And then there's this. There's a number of nice limestone heads in here. They appear all to be Tang. This is the Lohan, and they were bought from Wiesbrod Chinese Art Limited back in the 90s. I think all of them were, as a matter of fact. But this is a rather nice one. I think it's about 8 inches in height. Good detail, nice old surface. But it isn't missing. It doesn't have chips out of the eyebrows and chips off the end of the nose, as they often do, because they were sort of manhandled when some of these were taken, unfortunately, and they didn't treat them always very well. But this one looks pretty good, and it's worth a look. And the same with this one. There's another one here, stone carving of a laughing Lohan. Again, in nice condition, very expressive face on it. It looks good all the way around. The back of it, of course, is a little bit more rustic because these were up against the wall. They didn't finish them too much, but that's often what they look like. And you want to check that out. Now, these types of heads have turned up in the past, and they sell for anywhere from, well, let's see how big this one is. What is it, 8 inches? It's 8 inches high. It's 20 inches tall, including the stand, I guess. But the head is 8 inches, so they're all sort of that uniform size. 6 to 8 thousand, maybe somewhere in there. 5 to 6 thousand. Sometimes they bring more. If you get some real fanatical collectors, they'll go after it. But these are nice looking bits of limestone in this sale. They really are. And then there's this. Now this is a nice wooden head, Sung Dynasty, and it was bought also from Chait Gallery. It's 24 inches high. 9 inches is the what does this say? 24 it's 24 inches. The head is 21 inches tall, not including the stand. It's 24 inches with the stand. So this is a significant piece of carving. It's a wood carving, pigmented, looks to be in nice condition. Very, very nice condition. If you like old carvings, this is a good one. Beautifully done. There's still some red pigment on it. The black eyes are still there. Everything else looks fine on it. I'm sure there's some nicks and things to it. There always are. But you can imagine if they bought it at Chait Gallery, they probably paid a pretty good price for it. But in this sale, what will it bring? I would think 3 to 5,000, maybe 4 to 6,000, maybe more. You got to look them up. You got to go check them, check for comps at different auction sites and see what things like this bring. But this is a nice one, and it's large, so it may do a good bit better. I got to remember that it's 21 inches. It's almost 2 feet tall. This is a big carving. The base, of course, is later. The black base is not original. And then there's this, a nice big planter, Famille Rose Jardiniere. Now, they dated it as 18th century. I'm not so sure. It might be early 19th century. I don't think it's 18th century. But it's hard to tell from the pictures, but they have high-resolution images, so you can go make up your own mind on it. But it's beautifully potted. It's got a very pleasing shape to it. This wasted bottom, the way it comes in, and the floral decoration is quite good on it. The stacking rocks going off here in the middle are nicely layered. The Famille Rose enamels, the red enamels, and the yellows in particular look nice. And the greens come in a nice wide range of shades. So that's a good looking pot. And the inside of it looks very good. I think there's an interior shot. Yeah, there it is. It looks nice and clean down inside. And the bottom of it is recessed and unglazed. And that's fairly typical, as you know, on planters. But seeing as spring is here, I was looking the other day, our poppies are out front. We've got a field of poppies in the front yard. It makes me think of things like this. It's 12 inches tall and 14 inches in diameter. So it's a great size for to put plants in, maybe on a porch or a patio or inside your house. It's the right size you can move it around when the fall comes. You bring it inside if you've got it outside. Keep your plants through the winter. Always put plants in planters. If you have a planter, put plants in it. They add so much to the way the object appears if you put flowering plants inside of a Chinese planter. They always look naked to me without something in it. We have a number of them around our own house, and they always have plants in them. And I think they look wonderful. And then over to this. This also came from Chait Gallery. It's a Femme Noir brush rest in a water coupe. And it's got a little aubergine mice under here. And it's carved into sort of a root or branch formation. It's very nicely done. Probably Kangxi period from what I'm seeing. There's this. Okay, there's a Chait sticker still on the bottom. Very, very attractive thing. Should bring a couple of $1,000s. It's only got 14 people watching it. It is in beautiful condition. But keep in mind when you see stickers on pieces from well-known galleries, and I'm assuming that Leland Little's people are pretty thorough, so I'm sure they checked out the provenance on it. And they got the name of the collector and everything, so I think that's on the up and up. Always remember that when you get things that come from Chait or Marchant's or Cohen and Cohen or any of these top flight dealers, you're gonna see pieces in beautiful condition, pristine condition, just like the things that were in the sale we previewed yesterday for Grogan. All those pieces were in amazing condition because he bought, for the most part, pieces from good collections they're carefully curated, and that's how they get that way. The best pieces tend to bubble up, and they bring premium prices too. But this is a nice looking thing. I like that a lot. And then there's this, a pair of 18th century plates, Femi Vare, with the two maidens on them. They measure 7 1/8 inches in diameter. They appear to be Kongxi period. Let's see, what else have they said about them? Anything else? No, not too much else, but they're very nicely done. I think the light was a little too strong on these. I think in person you're going to find the colors a little more darker. They're a little bit brightly lit, which is always an issue with when you, especially if you're shooting in a white paper background. On with plates like this, we used to always go to a gradient gray paper for these things because the light would be too intense around it with a white background of the plates. But they were probably just set up and shooting pictures. But this is very nicely done, and it's got sort of an Amari feel to it. Femi Vare, but sort of in the Amari palette with this bull red that the Japanese also use. But these are absolutely Chinese, very, very nicely done, and should bring $1,000 to $1,500. And then over to this really nice Shushan stone lohan. Now this is a very fine looking carving. I looked at this for a good bit last night, just trying to figure out, you know, is making sure it wasn't one of the newer ones, and I don't believe it is. I think it's a nice old one. They do make new ones of these, so they're a little bit tricky, but the workmanship on this is just too detailed. And did they have a provenance on this where they got this? No, they have a lot of comps. They found a lot of comps for it, so you can look up the comps, and they're dating it to the Kangxi period probably. It's awfully well done. It's a beautifully finished looking carving. Notice the cuticles around the fingernails, the little things that they don't often do on the modern copies, and all this very fine low relief groundwork here. This looks like a good carving to me. Looks like a very, very nice carving. So do check that out if you're a stone carving. If you collect stone carvings, it's a good thing to have a good look at. And then over to this. These are some of the woodblock prints. If you're a block print buyer and you've been thinking of buying some of these, you might want to check this out. This is by Koitsu. It's a very nice picture, Twilight and Hera. And these pictures have turned up in this particular print has turned up in the past, and they tend to do pretty well. They bring $600, $800, $1,000, depending on the color palette used. Because sometimes on woodblock prints you'll see them, they have different slight variations in color, and certain colors tend to be more popular than others. But I think this is an absolutely charming scene, and I live in Gloucester, Mass, so pictures like this always strike me as quite wonderful. And it's got its margins right there. They were careful to photograph the margins, the seal, and more writing in the margins. Do look at that. And then over to this. This is an awfully nice one by Hiroshi Yoshida of Mount Fujiyama from Miho on that side of the bay. This is a very well-known print. And these have been sold at Sotheby's and Christie's over the years, and Bonhams and so forth. And they tend to bring $1,500 to $2,000. Some of them bring $2,400 in that price range. But this one looks like it's in very fine condition. It does have its margins. It's pencil signed in the lower right by the artist. You don't see a lot of fakes of Yoshida's work. He died in 1950. He was a Taisho to early Showa period artist, but he did most of his work during the Taisho period. He was just getting into it at the end of the Meiji era. Very good artist, great color, the softness of the water, the way the mountain silhouettes itself against the sky. It's a very beautiful print. So if you're a Japanese woodblock print buyer, look at that one. And we're going to get back to the block prints. I threw this in at the end. This is a really cool thing. This is a Himalayan crystal stupa, and there was one workshop in that part of the world that the workers were known to work with crystal. Now they've dated this one as 19th century, and I looked at the bronze pretty carefully on this. The bronze looks older than that to me. Now it may have just been in a severe environment. I'm not sure, but crystal stupas are quite desirable. And this is a very, very nice example. It measures about 9 inches in height. The bronze has a very good surface to it. The crystal is beautifully carved. There's a nice shot of it up front here. And there's the surface. And I was looking at this part of the surface, and this looks older than 19th century to me. It just does. It just simply does. How much older? It's very hard to tell without picking it up and handling it and really giving it some homework. But this, to me, this looks like an 18th century piece, early 18th century, judging by the amount of corrosion and wear and the way the stone is done. This is beautiful work. Really, really crisp, beautifully done. Now, these still made good pieces in the 19th century too, but I think I just have a feeling this is an older one and a lovely example. And I'm going to double check that. Yeah, 9 3/4, just a hair under 10 inches in height. So it's a good sized stupa. And if you collect Buddhist art, this is sort of a must have, I think. What'll it bring? Should bring a few $1,000s, I would think. It's very attractive. And it's only got 6 bidders watching it because it's an odd piece. Remember, odd pieces you don't see very often can sometimes slip through the cracks because people don't know how to look them up. They're gonna go out and try to comp the thing on other auctions, and you're really probably not going to find them. These are sort of the rare, unusual pieces that you have to just decide to buy with your gut. All right, now back over to one more metalwork. Is this really nice Tibetan gilt copper Buddha figure, beautifully done, turquoise inlaid all the way down. It's made in Tibet. It looks absolutely fine, probably 17th, early 18th century. There's an image of the bottom, a lot of wear and grunge and chewing around the edges here. It's got a double Vajra stamp in the bottom. And it measures, what is this, 7 inches, 8 inches? 7 7/8 inches. So it's just a hair under 8 inches in height. But this is a rather nice bronze. Expect this to do pretty well. But if you're a bronze buyer, you want to check it out. The details of the headpiece is also excellent on it. It is missing a few of the turquoise stones, but they, as you know, if you collect these, they are always missing a few of the turquoise stones, it seems, unless they've been meticulously kept since the 18th century, and they were in perfect shape when they were gotten. And often they're not. The stones just fall out. That's all there is to it. But this is a heck of a nice figure. What'll it bring? 8 to 12,000, maybe somewhere in there. It's hard to say. Somewhere around there. It's a nice looking Buddha. And then over to this, we come back to just 2 more block prints by Yoshida. There's this one, Waiting for the Tide. This is a very well-known one. It's an extremely pleasing scene for me. The luminous lighting effect on it and so forth, the way the boats are positioned, the reflections in the water. And reflections in water and this sort of thing was really what Yoshida was good at. Remember, they did these with woodblock prints. And shading water with a woodblock print in the manner that he did this is just amazing. Just absolutely fantastic. This was very, very difficult to accomplish. It is also signed in the lower right. And other prints of this type have sold in the past. If they have dull colors, they sell for $300 to $500. If they have nice, vibrant colors like this, they can sell for $1,500 to $2,000 pretty easily. It's all framed and ready to go, and it looks to be in very good condition. There's no staining and no foxing, which is always careful to look for when you're looking at woodblock prints. There's this one, and then there's this one of the Spring Rain at Tushiyama by Hiroshi. And this was part of a very, very famous series. This is Station 50, and it's a rainstorm. It looks to be a good example. I can't see if it has its full margins or not, but you might want to check with them and see if they have any additional information on it, because this is a very desirable print. There was a series of, I think, 8 from this series that sold at Sotheby's or Christie's a while ago, probably 4 years 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was. I remember them because I thought they were very attractive, and they did really well. The 8 of them, they brought $10,000 a piece. The lot brought 80,000. I'm not saying it was because of this one, but this was included in that very select special group of Hiroshige's work, the Station 50. So, at any rate, very nice. You can see the implied rain coming down lines across it. Very attractive. So check those out. So all in all, it's a pretty interesting little sale. It really is. It doesn't have, all of the second-rate stuff that some auctions have sometimes just to fill them out and make them a 200 lot sale. They fill it with a lot of junk. This all looks like pretty good, just nice things. Absolutely check it out. while you're looking for mischief to get into during the next couple of weeks. As I said, the sale is on June 3rd. I think it's worth a good look. There's some nice things in there. There's some nice things. All right. That's it. I hope you're all enjoying your Memorial Day. We had a heavy rainstorm here overnight, and the sun has come out now, and there's blue sky, and it's up to 65 degrees. It was 50 when we got up this morning. It's been still cold here in New England. We're waiting for some of the weather pattern from Canada to shift so we can start enjoying our summer, because it's often we've had these in the past where it stays cool right into the middle of June, and then suddenly it's 90 degrees. And I hope you're all enjoying your day with your families and so forth. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't so far. Hit the thumbs up button, all that good stuff. But check out the Leland Little Sale coming up on June 3rd. All righty. Have a great day. Bye-bye.